I hid it for so long. Like, I never posted anything about it. If I were taking pictures and I was on my crutches that day, I would be handing them off to someone and then having someone take the picture and then getting them back. And through, honestly, so many of the fan interactions, I was able to be like, oh, this isn't something that I have to hide, and this isn't something that is like shameful. This is actually something that is just going to help people connect better with me. She taught me that, I guess. It's fun to say.
Let's move on to live voice acting. Whoever pulled for Firefly, everybody been hearing this line all the time.
I'm so sorry. Okay, it's gonna be loud. I apologize. I don't know if we're gonna hold this. I just want to peek. Okay.
I saw the school just very giving.
I shall set the seas ablaze!
Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Do you guys personally have a favorite voice line, you guys? Other than
To the train line.
So anyone who has worked their way through penacoding, you've probably already heard this one before, and I'm going to do it off mic because I will blow the speakers out.
Witness the will of the weak!
My favorite Himeko line. My favorite Firefly line is just, do you even have a valid driver's license?
And let's move on to our live Q&A with our audience. So I would like to go over an audience. Please get a vibe, the stuff you're gonna ask, question in platform appropriate. Don't have about info. If you an analyst at the answer, please don't push question. No comment about leaks and no comment about politics and other comments. Thank you very much.
Joke about leaks is that we don't even know.
Seriously.
We don't know anything.
What she's saying about we get scheduled for a session, and then we walk in, and they're like, okay, so here's what you're gonna be saying today.
It's
We're like,
just what you're saying.
yeah, just
No context.
yeah. And then if we're lucky, we get a director who will read us the line before. But then there's one director that we work with that absolutely refuses.
No, will not.
So we're just like, okay. And it's exactly what you said too. You'll do a couple tags, and then they're like, okay, so we'll give you some context for this. It's like, well, did you want to lead with that, maybe? Right?
So, if you would like to ask a question, first one to raise their hand. Wow, no one's gonna... There we go.
Yes.
How do I look after y'all?
Do I need a microphone?
You don't need a microphone? Okay, ask for it.
Okay, can I ask 2 questions?
No, just one.
No, you can ask.
Okay, so kind of how you guys were saying how Firefly is kind of just wants to be a girl, and Himeko is kind of aiming to kind of be a very motherly, a very caring role. How do you think would the interactions be if they met in person? They're stuck in a room and they met each other. What do you think their interactions would be? Can they stay either under the context of they are still separate, like Firefly is still around hunters, or they're just strangers?
Have our characters ever had a conversation?
I don't think so.
That's wild. But you've talked about me.
I have talked about you.
Yeah.
I'm aware of your existence. I think Himeko would be a little wary, just because she is a Stellaron hunter. And I don't know about this girl dating my daughter or my son. Or both. Ooh. But I think Himeko ultimately really wants to see the best in people, as evidenced by welcoming Sunday onto the train. So I think if Himeko met Firefly, I think there would be a little mistrust, but a desire to be open.
Well, she did blow up a planet, so that's fair. I think that Firefly really, really loves all things femininity and being a girl. I think that's why Firefly is so obsessed with Robin, just in the fact that oh my god, this is this is like pinnacle of girlhood, you know, and I think for a similar reason she just will probably like look up to Himeko so much. Just like this is a goddess of a woman, and like how do I be you? Like I think there would just be a lot of questions. Like how do you do your hair? Where do you shop for clothes?
Clearly the same story as the Goliath.
Exactly. So I think that's really what would happen. It'd be a lot of you being like, who are you? And Firefly just being like, tell me everything. How do I be you?
I love that, oh my god. And then I hand you a cup of coffee and you're like, why?
I've never had coffee before. Okay, your second question?
Yes, thank you. There are so many characters I would love to see more interactions of, and that is one of them. And for my second question, this is more about voice acting. So if you guys wanted to actually see your lines and like know the story, do you guys usually play the game, or do you guys have like, do they offer you anything to see? Like, okay, this is actually a fun product. Or do you like go on YouTube and see like what people play with? Because I know you kind of have to actually like play the game to actually see a lot of these scenes.
For a very rare cutscene, we will see that in session. But again, there's no context. So it's just like the wildest, like, you know, when you're playing the game and like a boss battle happens and then there's like a cinematic cutscene that's like, when you're playing it, it's like, whoa, that's so cool and groundbreaking. When you see out of context, you're just like, what is going on? So for me, I don't play the game, but I watch it. A lot of my friends stream the game, so usually I'm just like there lurking in the chat under like a alias, typing things like, this is so cool. Oh my god, I love that. You should go to Firefly more.
I need to get a Twitch alias. I just have my name and then I lurk. And then someone's like, wait, Gina's here. I'm like, wait, what? How'd you find me?
No, I lurk a lot, and then they usually will. Meg, my friends who are streaming, but that's how I see it. I love the story. Like I'm a huge story-based game person, so I love watching it. I'm just like, I just don't play it. That's how I see it.
So I do play it, and I started playing it for the purpose of understanding more about my character and understanding more about the world that she was in. And then I got really sucked in. I really liked playing it, so I still play it to this day. But it's funny for things like that Penacony fight, all I knew was that it was a big fight. I had no context for Himeko's role in that fight, which again, like, I know that everyone can choose their own team, so I didn't understand why I had this line when I may or may not be on that person's team, but okay. And then seeing it in action, like the way it happened, was like just, it was incredible. It was really stellar. So playing the game definitely helps. Helps me understand more, or watching.
Yo, 100%. Yeah, just getting more of the story because it builds every time, right? I will say probably the funniest thing that's ever happened to me is that I booked Firefly, and they literally don't tell us anything. They told me the name of the character that I booked. I was like, sweet. You don't know if that's going to be a boss or just like a heavy NPC or whatever. And I went in thinking like, the character, this is going to be awesome. And the first thing that they showed me, they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and start with this cutscene, was my death scene. And I went, oh, okay. I left that session going, well, I guess that's it. And then I kept bringing me back. And still to this day, I tell you, she has to come with a trigger warning and she keeps me on her toes. I'm on my toes. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know where she is or what she's doing. It's like that. I just had one TikTok sound. I was like, I'm dead. I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm up. That's Firefly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have, oh, question. Hey, yo, so, we have your hands up?
What's your guys' saddest voice line?
Oh, I don't mind. Do you know yours?
No.
Saddest voice line?
Oh, in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. What's yours?
Or your favorite?
Well, that's a lot. I mean, there's two. There's a lot. She's just, she's, you know, there's a lot going on there. The saddest one for me, the one that made me burst into tears for the first time ever in session, was the one where she says, you start doing things a little bit slower than everyone else, and then even slower than that. Kind of just like, you know, that whole arc of her realizing that she's not gonna grow up like everyone else, but she's actually dying. But the part that makes me the saddest because of the context is when she gets stabbed by the meme and says, I'm sorry. And in the context of it, you're like, why is she apologizing for getting stabbed? That's crazy, but it's because she's been lying to you the whole time, and feels bad about that fact because of how much she cares for the Trailblazer.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that whole scene when you were talking about slowing down, that wrecked me so hard. Like playing it and watching it, that's so good. The voice acting is so freaking good. I don't know if Himeko has a sad moment in the game. Favorite line? I mean, it's so simple, but I really like it when she's like, fancy a coffee? Like, she's so freaking enthusiastic about her coffee and does not understand that people think it's disgusting. And she's so like, hey, let's all have this horrible, disgusting black sludge coffee.
Himeko, people are dying.
I especially roasted these beans to be this bitter. No, don't use sugar. You're gonna ruin it.
Hello, I hope this isn't like too boring of a question, but do you have any advice for like any aspiring voice actors / and as like a corollary, any aspiring voice directors?
I can jump right in. So voice actors, if you're not already, definitely take theater classes, take improv classes, take singing classes, anything where you're using your voice, even movement classes. We do have to be pretty stationary on mic, but just understanding how movement impacts your body and your voice, things like that. When we do fight efforts and things, it's really good to have an understanding of what it feels like to throw a punch, throw a kick, what it feels like to, not that you would be doing this in a movement class, but to take a punch, all of those things. All of those things are really helpful. For voice directors, I strongly feel that an understanding of acting is key. You need to understand what we have to do in order to deliver any performance, but also understand the material that you're directing and have hopefully a strong point of view about that material or the character that we're portraying. We're going to bring our own point of view to it, and then it becomes this dance, this collaboration between what we think and what you think and how the story carries out. And a lot of times a good director will have more pieces of the story than we have. We're just bringing our character, our scene to the table. So if you can then flesh out those bits that we don't know, that's also really helpful. I want my director to be a sturdy leader who understands the road and understands the journey that we're going to go on, and then can help me fulfill that within my character. So I always think of that as a strong point of view and good communication skills.
We have to trust our directors so much. Like, again, we don't see what's happening, we don't know what's happening, so when we deliver a line one way and the director goes, no, this is like, one time I got a direction that was like, no, Analesa, this is like you were leaning over to R2-D2 and you're saying like, help us Obi-Wan, you're our only hope, and I was like, okay. I do it like that, and you have to trust it, you don't know, and then obviously, the game comes out or whatever comes out, and fans are always going to have their opinion one way or another about it, like, oh, this was bad voice acting, this was whatever, but it always comes together. Like, an example I like to use is that convertible scene between Blade and Firefly was recorded completely separately. I never heard anything Damon did for that. I didn't know what he was going to do for that, but we both trusted our directors, and they both knew exactly what direction to give us to make it sound like that conversation was happening in real time. And I think, just a really big understanding of story, because that's also what's crazy to me is that some of these, wasn't the last, I always pronounce it wrong, I'm sorry, the Morpheus, isn't that what it's called? Amphorius. The last one, wasn't it like 5 hours long?
Yeah.
And our directors are not just directing one thing at a time. One of our directors is directing like 6 games at once.
Yes.
And so the fact that I can go into a session with him and he can be like, okay, so this is what's going on. And I'm like, how do you know that? And it's because they have the whole Excel sheet where they're reading the entire story and they're asking questions and they're doing all this stuff. And they have to have that on lock because we're on a time crunch, we have to do everything a lot. So, I mean, my biggest piece of advice for that would honestly be to read a lot. Read a lot of books, because that's going to give you what you need to know. Like, okay, I'm reading this book, I'm not seeing it, it's not a movie yet, it's not something that's already been directed, it's just a story. How would I tell that? How would I direct people to do this? What kind of voice would I look for this person? And really get that full understanding of what the story is, because your actors are going to rely on you, and then in order to book more work, that's what they're going to look at. They're not going to look at, oh, you hired Matthew Mercer, and that's why this game's amazing. It's like, Matt didn't know what was going on, the director knew what was going on, had to relay that to Matt, and that's why Matt was able to do such a great job.
I always think about, what was that game that Peter Dinklage did that everyone was complaining about his voice acting? And I heard the clips and stuff, and I was like, that's a director failure, because everyone knows Peter Dinklage can act the crap out of anything you hand him. And that was clearly a failure of whoever was directing him in his sessions to understand his character, to understand his story, and then communicate that clearly in a way that Peter could act it out. So it makes it really is, it's a collaboration. We bring what we bring as actors, but the director has a piece of it too, and together is when we can make something really great.
We're a captive audience, you might as well ask.
I heard about the game, but I don't really know what the story is. Do you mind explaining?
Of Honkai? Oh, Lord. So there's a space train, and it's flying through space, and the main character that lives on the space train has a gem in their body that makes them all powerful, but also basically like a nuclear weapon. So like, be careful. And they're also a little stupid, but we love them anyway.
Got a real affinity for trash.
Yes, and there's other people that live on this train that make up this weird family, kind of like a friend situation, as if you were all living together in one loft. And they all know something about this jade that's inside this person. And they're going to different planets to figure out how to quell it, basically, like how to keep it safe,
Yeah.
for sure. And there's another faction that my character belongs to called the Stellar Hunters, which are like the evil guys because they've committed a lot of crimes. And their leader is a cat, I'm not making any of this up, who has a script for how life is supposed to go. And if you devolve from the script, like bad things will happen. Like bad things will happen. And so my character's jobs are to make sure that the script goes exactly according to plan, which sometimes means breaking a lot of the laws and maybe killing some people, but that's what happens. And
the Stellar Hunters are the only ones who know about the script.
Yeah, we're not allowed to tell
Really?
anyone.
Yeah.
It's like very
No one
top
else knows.
secret.
Yeah.
And that's why we're kind of like, we're like friends with the Trailblazers, and the Astral Express people, which is the space train, but they also were kind of mad at us because they're like, just tell us where we need to go, and we're like, we can't, but we can give you like riddles for you to go where you need to go. And then my character has known Trailblazer supposedly for a very long time, and the Trailblazer keeps forgetting who they are because, I don't know, space. And yeah, and then the Trailblazer also has like 400 love interests because that's fun. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Can confirm. I think that was a really good description.
Thank God, I know what I'm talking about.
We have one more question.
Where are you going?
There's a few more questions.
We're not
Oh my God, so many questions.
Sit back down. I'm kidding.
All right. I technically have two questions, but I'm just going to limit it down to the one. Kwana Maide or Kurorame?
Ships? I don't touch that with like a 7,000 foot pole. That's my answer. Love is love. That's my answer.
Hard agree.
ask, like, are there any characters that maybe you guys wish had more, you had more scenes with, or characters that, you know, you would like to interact more in the game? Like, you know, just any for both of you guys?
So the first time Himeko met Kafka, who Kafka is the leader of the Stone Run Hunters, it was clear that they knew each other and they don't like each other very much. And from that point, it has been posited by the fans that there is a past relationship that perhaps did not end well. I would really like to know what's going on with that. Because again, they don't tell us anything.
No, we have no clue, not a single clue. I kind of want to hang out with the, I'm so tired of my blanking. Who are the space cowboys?
Oh,
Yes, the
Galaxy
Rangers.
Rangers. Yeah.
They sound fun, and I kind of want, I don't know, I know Firefly's like, listen, she blew the planet for a reason, she's not trying to commit crime, but I just think it'd be a little fun if it was like a little AU where she was just like a little evil and hung around, but the Galaxy Rangers would just like started messing stuff up, you know? I think that's it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yay. There's one in the back too. The back.
Oh, I see.
I am very good. So you guys said that you guys don't know your lines until you essentially show up. So do you guys sometimes make theories on what you think the next scene will be, and then when you do show up and you know what the next scene is, do you guys, what's your guys' reaction to like said scene? I guess?
So I don't make up theories or anything like that. I have had some sessions where I get like a little bit of an overview of what the current arc is, and it blows my mind. And then I can't talk about it because NDA and leaks and spoilers, and I have to wait for it to come out, and then I can talk about it. But yeah, I've definitely had that experience of like walking in, like, okay, so in this scene we're gonna blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, wasting my time is a strong choice of words, but like there's really no point because it's especially in a game like Honkai Star Rail, it's like you literally don't have any idea. We're on a dream planet 1 second and then we're in a Greek tragedy the next, and it's just like there's no point in guessing. Especially with Firefly, because it's just like, oh, where are you? What are you doing? I don't know. Are you actually here? Are you a hologram? I don't know. But for me, I think, yeah, it's that usually, but every now and then we've had to have guest directors come in. We have 2 main directors, and again, people are working on a million different games, and sometimes we're dual recording in different studios. And so I've had to work with guest directors, and they're given the lowdown, and they're trying to explain it to me, and I'm sitting there like, because I like know where it's going as they're saying it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, and they're like, does that make sense? And I'm like, yeah, all right, and then we go for it.
Hi, how do you differentiate like different voices for the different characters you act, and like have you ever mixed up the voices? I'm just curious.
Okay, so I work on The Sims as well. And the way The Sims works is there's usually 2 of us in the booth at the same time, and we watch an animation of the action that's going to take place, and then we go back and forth and we improv. And 99.9% of the time I'm paired with a male actor. And one time I was paired with one of the other females in the game, Cretia Bajos. And I think the reason, well, Cretia is a very silly animated person, and so we got very silly together. But then Cretia's character is she's a little bit more sultry. She's a little bit more, suave. And my character is a little more pouty. And so when we were both in the booth at the same time, we ended up kind of meeting in the middle a little bit, I think just because we were playing off of each other. So in that sense, yes, things did get a little muddy. But most of the time, I think it's funny, there's another actor, J.B. Blanc, who has talked a lot about how, like, at this point, he's really just calling it acting, because voice acting really leads to kind of a misconception of what we do. It's not, we don't lead with the voice, you know? Himeko doesn't just have a different voice from Vi in League of Legends. She has an entirely different character. And so when we're stepping into the booth and we're stepping into our roles, we're stepping into a character, not stepping into a voice. So for me, no, I don't find that I have a hard time keeping them separate.
The only thing is, working on a game for so long, I think sometimes the voice changes a little bit, and you don't really realize it until like someone tags you in a video from like 2.0, and you're like, oh, oops. That's how they sounded, alright? That's for sure. Firefly's also interesting because there's like Fake Fly, which was like the tour guide, and she's like super clear and super bubbly, and then when she like allows herself to drop into like the weight that her body is weighing on her because she's dying, the voice comes out a little different. So again, I had one time a guest director come in and we were doing something where she had to be really heavy and really feeling that the weight of her entropy loss syndrome, and the reference that they played me to get me into the session was like, and over here's the Soul Lab building and blah blah whatever. So when I started doing it, he was like, oh, I think we're on voice, and I was like, how do I explain this to someone who has no idea what's going on? Like, I kind of, it's like kind of the difference of like a customer service voice and like your real voice. So sometimes that happens, but no, for the most part, you can always ask for ref. They'll always give it to you, but every now and then I've been in sessions where, like Miraculous Ladybug, for example, they are almost always just ready to be like jump back into it. And I'm like, I play two different characters, but can you just remind me what Sublime sounds like? Because I just came from a different session, I'm just doing this. So usually just with that little bit of ref, it's like, okay, I can get back into it. And then yeah, you just kind of drop it after that and just think about the acting. But it doesn't, it doesn't really matter, I guess, is the real thing. Like, I think that if the acting is there, people aren't going to care if the voice is a little different than it was before.
Well, and I think that evolution is pretty common. If you listen to early Simpsons episodes, it's the same actors as the ones that are there now, but you know, even like year 1 to year 5, there's a little bit of a change.
Yeah.
I think as we settle into it, especially for the game like Star Rail, where I've been recording this since 2020. You've been recording for a couple of years now. Yeah. There is an evolution to it. You know, the character grows and changes, and so, yeah.
But yeah, the voice doesn't really matter. There's famous voice actors who do nothing but use their speaking voice for roles, so it's like, you never want to worry about that. I will say the one thing is like, don't ever audition with a voice you can't keep up. Definitely done that before.
Because you'll book it and they'll ask for 6 hours.
I'm like, well, I'm not going to book this, but like, I might as well try something new, and then they book me, and I'm like, and then you just go for it, and then you learn your lesson.
What's your favorite part of the story mode?
Favorite part of the story? I like Penacony in general. I like anything that has to do with dreams. The fact that you can walk on walls and there's people like throwing up rainbows on the sidewalk, and I just think I love that. I just think it's wild. I'm just like, how do you top that, man? Like, that's awesome. And you have to get into like a giant clamshell in order to get into this dream. Like, it's so, and there's trash cans fighting. Like, it's so wild. I love that stuff. Like, I just love everything about Star Rail. I lean way more towards sci-fi than I do fantasy for things. So being on Star Rail, I just think is awesome because it's like the possibilities are endless. We can go to any planet, we can do anything. But planet-wise, Penacony, story-wise, I think I I mean, I'm biased, but I think the Celeron Hunter, their whole arc story-wise really means a lot to me because it is. It's like they're these like hardened criminals within the family aspect that they have together, and you see it come out in different places. And like, oh my god, it's so cute. And Blade's like a girl dad, and this is crazy. I like that stuff.
You brought back so many memories. Like, I loved Penacony. I loved it. It was so much fun. Yes, you get into a giant clamshell to enter the dream world. Once you're in the dream world, you get into a giant pinball machine in order to travel around. There are talking billboards that follow you everywhere. And this was one of my favorite streaming moments. I was running around as Himeko, and there was this billboard that was following me around. I was like, can I attack this thing? And so I turned around and I pizza cuttered it, and it totally like falls back, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so we just kept doing it. And then I'm progressing along in the story, and there's this one point where you go into like this audition space as part of the game, and there was like a bowling pin setup of all of these billboards, and I was like, ah, they've come for their revenge. It was hilarious. Penacony was a total fever dream.
Yeah.
It was 8 months of fever dream. It was so much fun. And yeah, if we're talking factions, again, I really do love the Astral Express, and it's very much this sense of found family, people who choose to be together and choose to love each other because they need it, and this is their safe space.
You can probably take 2 more questions before we end.
Hi, if you didn't have your current role in the game, is there any other character in the game that you would like?
Acheron.
Sparkle.
Time for 2 more
I love that little freak so much.
And Lizzie is amazing.
Lizzie's perfect.
Oh.
I auditioned for Sparkle and I wanted it so bad, and then when it came out, I was like, no, it's Lizzie. Lizzie was perfect.
I guess we can still do 2 more. So no, I'm almost at E6 Acheron.
Can you do some demo voice lines of those characters?
No, Acheron's lines. I couldn't tell you the Sparkle line off the top of my head right now. And that's not me chickening out. No.
If you look up an Acheron line, I'll do it.
Well, I guess I do know. I know one Sparkle line actually.
That's Japanese.
I weep for the departed. I know that one. Okay.
I know a Sparkle line. I'll do it after.
I weep for the departed. Yeah, it's not as good. they cast it correctly. It's I freaking love that character. Allegra's voice as Acheron is just fire. But then again, not just her voice, her acting is so freaking amazing. And the character, I love it so hard. They get lost. I get lost.
Yeah.
I can identify.
100%. My favorite Sparkle line is, I put a bomb on this ship.
Yes. Nice.
So, talking about your other co-stars, are there any other maybe people that you've worked with, or other voice actors that influence you, or push you to do best?
You look up to, or just people who are good? I mean, Allegra is a great example. Allegra farts and it's magic, and it's like, okay, I get it. The people that I don't know but that I look up to are Ashley Johnson for sure. Just performances that you hear that you just sit in your bedroom on the floor why can't I be that good? But then it just makes you get up and you keep trying. So then eventually maybe you will be.
I grew up with Tara Strong, and so she's always been a touchstone. Her acting is amazing. But I have a really nice Maurice LaMarche story. Maurice LaMarche is Brain from Cooking the Brain, and she's on Futurama too. He's everything. He's everything. So anyway, I met him once at Comic-Con, and I was very early in my voice acting journey, and I was very nervous to meet him, and I was a little tongue-tied, and I just went up to him and I was like, "Hi, I'm an up-and-coming voice actor, and I just wanted to say how much I really like your voice acting, and I think you're really great, and I just thank you for everything that you do. Thank you." And he was so gracious and encouraging, and he was like, "Well, it's really nice to meet you." And he's like, "Keep going with it. I was an up-and-coming voice actor once myself. Maybe we'll work together one day." And just those, I've never worked with him, but just those words of like, maybe we'll work together one day was like so, like I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Like it just feels like the most wonderful gift that somebody could have given. It was so kind.
I think you have one more question. Room for one more. I can't speak English. Room for one more question. Here you go.
Hello. This is a quick one, but favorite vocal warm-up?
I usually just not scream sing, but I sing at the top of my lungs "Dead Mom" from Beetlejuice the Musical on my way to my session, and then usually I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good," and then I walk in.
I've recently gotten into the singing straw. So basically, you can pay $40 to get this stainless steel 2mm wide singing straw, or you can go to the bar and steal a cocktail straw. But the idea is that you blow into the straw, you vocalize into the straw, and it helps strengthen your vocal cords, and it's a good warm-up. But if you don't have that, the other thing that you can do is just a really simple, I think it's called like roller coasters or something. You just hum, you go from the bottom of your range to the top and back down. You just do that for a little while and it warms you up really nicely.
I just realized you actually have a bit more time, so this may be the last question.
Listen, we talk for a living, like we'll keep going.
I personally have a question if anyone wants to. No one wants to take this from me? Thank you guys. Do you guys have like any games or anime or any sorts of media that you would like to voice in?
Oh yeah. Do you want to? I have a few. Well, my dream role, live action, voice, mocap, does not matter, is Spider-Gwen. Like top of my list. And then, oh my god, I had another one. Oh, and then Jujutsu Kaisen. It's the only anime I care about. No more Gojo on my shirt. If you ask me about anime, 99.9% of the time I'll say I have no idea what you're talking about. If it's Jujutsu Kaisen, I know everything about it. Every manga, I've seen every episode a million times. Probably more than my roommate would like me to have watched Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, those are the two like dream projects.
Nice. A couple of years ago, Simu Liu, who is Shang-Chi, he put on Twitter about how he was joking that he manifested the role because he tweeted out, a few years before that he wanted to do it. And then it became like a little meme a few years ago to like put your own aspirations out there. And so I did. So Scott Pilgrim, I love that movie. I love the book, I love the comic books, I love that movie. It's so freaking good. And I personally think I would make her awesome Ramona. But the other one that I put in was Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I, again, grew up on it, and I loved it, and I loved Korra, and I can say that I do have a role in the upcoming 20th anniversary. So I can't tell you what it is, but yeah, look for me. Look for me. Please, no.
All right. So, do you want to end this off, Tristan, or me? You. I feel like it should be.
So that's all Q&A's, right? Everybody's good? Thank you very much, everybody, for your questions, for all your questions.
Thank you all for coming.
Messages from our low VAs.
Thanks for listening to me. Yeah, I could do it forever. And thanks for loving Firefly. Even though she lied to you, blew up the planet, lied to you some more, died, came back to life. I actually appreciated these lots. Thank you.
Your space mom loves you. Don't get into trouble. Drink my coffee.
We also have a second to last thing. We would like to have a photo together. Our anime destiny director Sean has made some beautiful art pieces that you guys can take. So if everyone would like to try the best to turn around in their seats, and then we can try to capture a photo down the aisle right here.